Like a Hellcat.
Well, hello there. Welcome to another video on the channel. Today we will be reviewing the brand new Snapshot 22w19a, which is a very small snapshot and came out very late on the day it was released, which was Thursday, May 12th, 2022. And this snapshot brings the long-awaited Firefly. Nah, just kidding. But I will get to the Firefly later in this video, although it has not been added, and will not be added in the Wild update. But as I said, we will get to it later. Anyway, let's start with the update. Or snapshot, I should say, yeah, snapshot. Let's start with the snapshot. We should start off with the Warden, since in like every other snapshot, the Warden gets some changes. So, summon the Warden, and we'll just wait for it to get mad at one of these mobs right here. Which actually would not work out, so... Hang on, I got a better idea. Right here we got a passive mob and a Warden. So the change here is mobs will now, like, flee away, like, you know, like, run when attacked by the sonic boom now, so let's see that in action. That is when the mob does not die in one shot. Now, donkeys have, like, a different speed, so... yeah, it is trying to run. It is kind of moving now. So yes, if a mob that, like, does not attack back gets hit by the sonic boom, it should now flee away, like if a survival player were to hit a pig. Hit a pig. See how it is running away? There, see? Running away. The sonic boom damage is now dependent on the difficulty, as with before, it was not. So, peaceful difficulty, sonic boom does not exist. Easy, it does 1 heart of damage. Normal, it does 1.5 heart of damage, which we saw in the snapshot where the damage was decreased. And hard, it does the most amount of damage. So, if you have your world on hard mode, then it will indeed do more damage than it did in the previous snapshot. The Warden draws closer sound for the Skulk Shrieker is now used in the game, whereas before it was unused. So this actually makes it where activating a Skulk Shrieker 4 times now summons the Warden. So I already activated it 1 time, so let's activate a 2nd time. And that was strike 2. And if we were to stand on it again, that is when the new strike would happen. Listen closely. Warden draws close. So that was 3 times. Previously, the Warden would have been summoned by now, but now you need to activate the Skulk Shrieker a 4th time, as you can see right there. Speaking of summoning the Warden, if we were to do it again, and if it were to, like, explode... previously, that big explosion would have lifted the Warden in the air while it was emerging. It no longer does that. This happened a lot, but when a Warden roared at something, it would forget instantly. It no longer does that. Once it gets angry at something, it will be locked onto it until it is dead. So let's see what it gets locked onto. That creeper, I think. And it should not forget about it. Nope, it did not. If somehow a blaze hit the Warden with a fireball, it would previously not get angry at the blaze for doing that. Now it does. But that is kind of hard to show off, and I am not sure how someone would even discover this as a bug. The Warden can now damage the Ender Dragon with its sonic boom attack, where previously it would just knock the Ender Dragon back. Now it does both. Wardens were not able to be summoned on snow layers, and now they can dig from snow layers if you somehow had snow in the deep dark. Skulk sensors and wardens were able to detect the player holding up the shield, and it does not do that anymore, as you can see here. But it does if you switch it from your offhand, but not if you put it back in your main hand. If you gave yourself the goat horn, then it would be like an unregistered goat horn. Now it would give you the ponder goat horn, the proper goat horn. The Warden's sonic boom attack now counts as a Warden kill. Frogs would commonly get stuck below lily pads. Now they pathfind out of it quickly. Well, at least that's what it looks like. Yeah, they swim right out. So, you will no longer have your frogs missing. And I think they can also drown when under the lily pads too. Like dolphins, if they are underwater for too long, they will drown. So, yes. Good to see that frogs will survive now. When tadpoles hatched in a situation like this, they would actually hatch inside of blocks, causing them to suffocate. Now they will hatch and then live a happy life in this one block gap water without suffocating. I am not sure what will happen if they grow up, but yeah, when they hatch, they will not suffocate, but when they grow up, I think that bug has been fixed a while ago, actually, so yes, if you have your tadpoles in something like this, then they should be completely safe. Oh boy, more changes to commands. So the locate command has now had the structure part and the biome part combined. So locate biome is the, like you can locate a deep dark if you would like. You can locate a mangrove swamp if you would like. And as for structure, you can locate any structure you would like an ancient city or a swamp hut. And there's also a new one, a new locate, PIO, which stands for... It stands for this stuff, okay, over here. So you can locate, important things that you might want to find, like a nether portal, a shepherd. Most of these are villagers. Lodestone, lightning rod... Well, actually, these are not villagers. They are the villager workstations. And also beehives. And acquirable job site. So if we were to actually do one of these, a meeting is a bell. But let's do, we like the librarian, right? A lodestone, we'll just locate a lodestone. And yeah, some of these are straightforward. So let's go ahead and do the librarian one. But I do not think there's any librarians in this world. So, yes. Let's try maybe a nether portal. I do not have one. Yeah, so if we were to put down, a lectern and just set it down right here, and then locate librarian again, it is literally 2 blocks away. Same if we had a nether portal, or a bell, or a bee nest, and I think the beehive too. But yeah, so, oh yeah, and it is kind of thunderstorming right now, so it would be nice to have a lightning rod, right? But what if we lost our lightning rod? Well, then we can go ahead and just locate it if we were big cheaters. So, lightning rod, and it is right over there. Let's just teleport. We are right on top of it now, and let's just... Oh, I destroyed it just in time. There are also some more chat previews. There have been some chat changes in the last few snapshots, but now you can have, chat previews, and I think there's a certain tag of that is only available in this snapshot. And you can now have rainbow text, but I think this only works on servers, not really single player. You can also have emojis now, but I noticed that emojis are kind of bugged. Not like I know how to use the emojis or rainbow text in a single player world, but I've seen things where, the smiley face emoji was not working properly. So hopefully the new chat stuff, rainbow chat, and of course the emojis, come to all of Minecraft and not just server plugin stuff. It is more of a technical change, so I am not too sure how it works, but hopefully it does come to single player and maybe even realms. Oh, how'd that happen? This is actually a bug fix, but it is more of a new feature to me. So, previously, if you had 2 blocks above your head and you try to jump down, that would not work. But now, if you were to do that, it would work. But what if we had a slab on top of us? Let's see if that would work. So right here, we are right there. And if we were to just try to jump... Oh, that would work. Alright. So I guess you can jump down easily now. Oh, I got my armor over there. I had armor, so I put it over there so you can see me crouching and stuff. But of course, as usual, you can just walk off like that. But crouching and jumping off will make it easier to jump down in the deep dark while trying to be quiet. So that is probably why this bug finally got fixed. But as I said, seems more like a new feature. Wardens and Iron Golems now make sure to spawn above something solid. This may concern farming people, such as the people who make iron farms. As for the Warden, this may be a better change to keep it from spawning in buggy areas, such as like 1 block tall areas. But I think this means Wardens, and of course Iron Golems, can spawn on top of glass now. It just has to be solid. What I am not sure about though is, what if we had like a slab? Would it be able to spawn on the slabs? Considering the fact that Wardens can now spawn on top of snow layers, may mean that they are able to spawn above slabs. I would assume this means then that they are not able to spawn like this, in a floating block. So right here is the very first iron farm I made, and it is in a world that you will probably never recognize. Ignore that over there. So I made this a while back to test out how to make an iron farm. Oh! Well, that answered my question. Seems like I am lagging though. So, at least for this design right here, which if you want I can make a tutorial on, the iron farms still seem to work, which is a very good thing. I just came onto this world to see if it would be broken. And if you go inside here, this is the actual farm, and here, iron golems drop down there, and that would mean they spawn in this water flow. So even though I think that the water is not really, like, solid, if you know what I mean, I thought they might not be able to spawn anymore. So now they will indeed be able to spawn here. Not sure what the change exactly means though, but hey, at least iron farms are not broken like I thought they were. And so this also means Wardens and Iron Golems spawn on the exact same conditions. So like if that were a Warden, it would spawn right here. But since this is an Iron Golem, it was an Iron Golem that spawned right here. And now he is going to die. Now let's test this with the Warden. So right here is a little obstacle, I like to call it. So we have like this azalea tree forest right here, and a bad-looking clock tower. So if we were to just summon the Warden, let's see where it would spawn. That looks solid to me. Now this makes me wonder, like what if all this was just Skulk Veins? Would it spawn on that? Point is, that was definitely a solid area. Actually, I have an idea. Let's actually test something. So I want to run 2 tests here with the spawning changes of Wardens and Iron Golems. So right here we got a floating platform and a Skulk Shrieker that can summon the Warden. So once I activate this, let's see where the Warden will choose to emerge. Interesting. So my suspicions were wrong. The Warden can indeed come out of floating blocks like this. So I see no difference with this change from previously, honestly, but I have an idea. In fact, this is test 2. Let's see if it will spawn in a 1x1 area like this. And in this side, let's go a little bit higher up, like this. As I was building this, I actually had an idea of another test. So this is test 2. We will do a 3rd test. Patch this up quickly. Let's see where it spawns. That looked weird, but as you can see, it actually spawned right there. So it chose to not spawn on this side, but on this side. And in the last test, it spawned around over here. Alright, now let's do the third and final test of this spawning change. So this will be having a non-solid block. The change said, make sure to spawn something solid. Now, as we know, slabs are not usually a spawning block for most mobs. In fact, I think all mobs. So if we were to put slabs all up here, and I think maybe it can spawn down here, but if it does, we'll do another test. So let's go ahead and just go on here and see where it spawns. Alright then. As you can see here, the Warden did indeed spawn on these slabs. The particles were skulk, but it still spawned on top of them. So I think we should maybe try covering this up and just see for sure if it will spawn on there again. I thought setting it up here would force it to spawn down there, but apparently that is not the case. So sorry, I am not really sure on this change. So let's go ahead and just do this again. Yep, exactly the same. Alright, so that is, I guess, the change for you. Now let's talk about fireflies and also that birch forest update we thought we were getting. So on the official Minecraft channel, there was an episode of what they call Ask Mojang, and they answered questions about what happened to the fireflies in Minecraft 1.19, and even what happened to that birch forest update. Without watching the video, I can easily explain. So, starting with the birch forest, they did show concept art, which made people believe we were getting that and the swamp update, but apparently that was just a concept art that they were not planning on adding to the wild update. It was just showing things off, and it was not a commitment to add it, so there was never even a birch forest update in planned. As for the fireflies, they have been removed and are no longer planned for the wild update. This is because, in real life, fireflies, or some species of fireflies, are poisonous to frogs. So they decided to just scrap the fireflies for now, and work more on them in the future. The reason they are not making fireflies frog food anymore is because of the community. The community had to say that fireflies are poisonous. So therefore, Mojang heard us, and now they changed their minds, and now they just want frogs to eat tiny slime and even magma cubes. The original idea was to have froglights dropped by frogs when they had a heavy diet of fireflies, now just when they eat a tiny magma cube. They do not want to encourage players to feed fireflies to frogs in real life, but apparently it is okay to feed slimes and even hot magma to frogs in real life, so I guess you can do that if you really want to, since Mojang approves. Maybe in the future, fireflies will be more than just 2 pixels, and hopefully, one day we can get a real nature update. Oh yeah, and bundles will not be in 1.19 either, but they are actively working on it, but they are having troubles with touch controls, like on phones, mobile Minecraft. So the bundle will probably be in an upcoming update, but not in 1.19. But it is accessible on Java Edition through commands, and you can even craft it if you use a data pack that adds a crafting recipe, or some other way to get it. But also, if you just repeatedly click on it on the empty slot, it keeps making a sound, so it is not perfect on Java Edition either. Removed features, small snapshots. This means the update is very close. But hopefully it is not finished yet, because I have discovered some problems behind the scenes of making these videos. So let's go ahead and talk about them, and hopefully they get fixed in the next snapshot or pre-release. You are not able to give allays leads. So, yeah, look, maybe if he was holding something it would work, right? Yep, well, no, because then how would you give the lead to the LA, but if we crouch, it does not work either. And not crouching does not work. Crouching, yes, it does not work either. But offhand, it still does not work. So you are not able to give LAs leads. And I think this is the only item, because if we were to do a name tag, it would work, since, you know, it is just a normal name tag that has not been given a name. And yeah, you can only lead your LA and not give the LA a lead to search for, which is a big problem. So right here is a mangrove swamp biome, and if we were to give, you know, like the frogs, the glowing effect, you can see that, yes, there may be some over there, which things would help a lot with a spyglass. So frog over there, and a frog over here. But what is the problem with this? Well, it does not really seem like frogs are that common in the swamp. Like right here we got a whole strip of mangrove, as I would call it. And let's just do this again. 25 targets. So there are only 25 frogs in this whole area. Sure, the savanna is cutting through a lot of this biome, but there's some over here, and a lot over here. Actually, over there seems to be a lot more frogs, but over here, there are absolutely no frogs. So I think frogs should spawn more common, and since in an earlier snapshot they were able to spawn on more mangrove blocks, I thought that would make them spawn more commonly. But no, it just seems like frogs do not spawn that commonly here. This is also the case for the normal swamp biome, so not just the biome that was updated. If we do it again, I think it would only... Oh, 56. Oh, would you look at that? More frogs in this area. How about that? So I think maybe because to balance things out, there's not that many frogs in smaller areas. But if you look around this whole thing that is generating over here, you can see that there should be more frogs. Let's use the new locate stuff to locate a normal swamp biome. And if we do that, we will kind of lag for a second maybe. And then we can do this again to see if the orange frogs spawn. Okay, well, that's pretty far away for a mangrove swamp biome that is kind of... that should have this next to it. So down here we have a swamp. This has to be the worst swamp in existence. But over here we do have some frogs. But if we were to, let's just give them all glowing. 9 targets actually. Huh. Oh, of course. I think the swamp must continue back here. Okay, I really got unlucky with this swamp over here. So apparently I just gave 9 frogs to glowing. Here's the swamp over here. So this is a big normal swamp biome, not the mangrove biome that you lag a lot in. If we were to do this command again, 11 targets now have this effect. For this big of a biome, there should be way more frogs, right? Considering the fact that this is not a problem, it is intentional, but swamp huts are not in the mangrove swamp. Anyway, let's do this again since the world did generate more. 14 targets, that is 3 more frogs, that is 2 more frogs. And my point is, you're just seeing your classic animals in here. I mean, not in the mangrove swamp, but in the normal swamp. Instead of your orange or white frogs. Doing it again, and I think some even despawned. Or just too far away from those over there. Point is, I think before this update releases, we should have more frogs. They may seem close together, but that is because we are in the sky. What if you were all the way down here, right? And considering the fact that frogs do not naturally have the glowing effect, you would not see a frog anytime soon. I experienced this problem with an upcoming Snapshot Survival episode, and, oh yeah, the glowing effect is gone, and as you can see, frogs are pretty rare here. Conclusion, there should be more frogs. This right here is an outpost. It looks normal. It's just living on this river, on this savanna biome, which should have been updated in this update, since it looks kind of boring next to the new biome. And right here we have some allays. Now, if we were to go inside this cage, these allays are not moving. So if you let them free, they start moving. So like when they are just generated, they get stuck in the fences, I think. But speaking of the fences, look how these two generated. Almost like they were trying to connect to something. But yeah, I updated them, now they are good. And if I were to free this LA too... Oh, yep, it got its AI back. So it seems that LAs get stuck to fences a lot. And this is a problem when you find them in the... I mean, maybe it's not that big of a deal, but yeah, they get stuck in fences. And what if you had fences at your base? They would get stuck in those too, if you had LAs at your base, of course. So those are pretty much all of the problems in the Wild update so far. Let's go ahead and go to the changelog to show off everything that I have not covered, and then end the video. The Snapshot Changelog can be found in the Minecraft launcher, but I will also have it linked down below in the description. And this is the snapshot right here, released on a Thursday, which I said earlier in the video. And here's the singular change, technical changes to the chats, and all of the server stuff, and of course you have those command things. Also a new sub-command for the place command, which is template, more jigsaw stuff, which I said before I do not know how to work. So basically the same thing as the jigsaw sub-command of the place command, but it is now template, and I would assume it works differently. And of course, changes to the locate command, and all other stuff that is technical. And these are all of your bug fixes. Not really much, but definitely not all I covered. This may be the least amount of bug fixes we have seen in the snapshot so far. But yeah, I definitely did not cover them all in the video, so they are all right here. Anyway, this is the changelog. Again, it is linked down below. I would not be surprised if the next snapshot is actually the first pre-release of the Wild update. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like on this video as it helps out a ton, and also please subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss another video. Subscribing helps you support the channel, and it is completely free, as YouTubers say. Which it is. No one is lying here. I will see you guys in the very next video. Goodbye.